Well, I'm sorry that I can't be sharing this very important announcement with everybody in person today. Again, given the circumstances of the weather and the current COVID exposure risk that we've had, I believe it's best that we remain online this week, but we still have the hope of returning to the building next Sunday. This morning in our missions moment, I want to share with you about Southern Baptist missions in the Pacific Northwest. Every fall, we collect a special offering called the Northwest Impact Offering. And that's going to be our special offering emphasis all throughout the month of October this year. It's through the Impact Offering that we help support the convention's missions efforts to our almost 500 churches here in the Northwest as we seek to engage over 12 million people that live in our region of Oregon, Washington, and part of Idaho. Now, it's no secret that the Pacific Northwest is a very spiritually dark place. Of the 12 million people that live here, it's estimated that only about 4% attend some sort of a Christian worship service. What that does is that places the percentage of church attendance in the Pacific Northwest right at about where it falls in China. Now, the Northwest Impact Offering, it also helps us support the almost 1/3 of those 500 churches that worship in a language other than English. In fact, every single week, the Northwest Baptist Convention has churches that gather for worship in 27 different languages. So in a very literal sense, we, through the Northwest, are reaching the nations. Now, the average church size in the Pacific Northwest, so you can know, is only right around 50 people. Out of the 500 or so churches that we have, only about 90 of them average over 100 in attendance, and that was pre-COVID. Now, it has been our conviction at New Hope that we don't simply need to have larger churches, but we need to see more churches planted. The Northwest Baptist Convention, funded in part by the Northwest Impact Offering, has two men that have been serving in our area to help churches engage the lostness and to see new churches started. The first one is Bruce Sloane. Bruce has been serving Region 4, which is pretty much all of Oregon with the exception of Portland, as what's called the Church Health Strategist for over 15 years. In this role, he has helped he has worked to help churches engage their community with the gospel, help churches resolve conflict, equip pastors and members to become maturing disciples, and to help them catch a vision for engaging the nations through missions and training and partnerships. In addition to the ministry of Bruce, Ron Allen has also been serving as the Northwest Baptist Convention's church planning strategist for this same region. Ron has helped churches, just like New Hope, secure funding, develop leaders, and provide training as we see the great need in our area for multiplying the number of churches. And so it's through the support of the Northwest Impact Offering that we've been able to help send Bruce and Ron both to our part of Oregon as missionaries to help our churches engage communities with the gospel. As of September 15th, Ron Allen has stepped down out of his role as the church plant catalyst for the Pacific Northwest, and he's going to be serving in a different role with the North American Mission Board. At the same time, Bruce Sloane has announced his intention to retire at the end of this year. And so with that in mind, just this last month, Randy Adams, the executive director of the Northwest Baptist Convention, he approached me and asked that I take on the combined role to serve as the church plant specialist for Region 4 of the Northwest Baptist Convention. After over a month of serious prayer and consideration, I do believe that the Lord is leading me to serve him through this avenue as ministry, and as such, I have agreed upon formal approval from the Northwest Baptist Convention's Board of Directors to accept this position. This afternoon, I will be asking our personnel committee, along with our deacon body, to form a transition plan as we begin to seek the next man that the Lord would have to take the mantle at New Hope. For years, I have challenged this church to lay their yes on the altar for the Lord. And it would be hypocritical for me to not be willing to do the same. I want you to know that it's not out of frustration and it's certainly not out of discouragement that I'm stepping down. Instead, it's out of the same obedience to our Lord that I would ask from any one of you that I'm making this move. And it is my desire that you would see this not as losing me as a pastor, but instead it's New Hope sending me out as a missionary to help engage the more than 12 million people in our area with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, as part of this new ministry, I will be the Northwest Baptist Convention's primary point of contact for leaders of Oregon's churches, including New Hope and the ministries that we have here. So I'll still continue to work with New Hope. I'll still continue to work very closely with Eduardo and our Hispanic church. I will also have a very close working relationship with the next leader at Hope in the Grove. In fact, I hope to continue to work very closely with many of the exceptional leaders that we have right here at this church. Further, I want to tell you, it is the desire of me and my family that we remain as members of New Hope. Now, to be honest with you, while shepherding this congregation has truly been one of the greatest joys of my life, and I do mean that, I do look forward to someday, at a time that the church determines is the right time, stepping out of the pulpit and as members falling under the leadership of the next pastor here, where we would joyfully serve alongside you as we seek to glorify our Lord. I want you to know we love you. We look forward to years of serving you right here in Cresswell, simply in a different role. Please know that my family and I, we appreciate your continued support of the cooperative program, the Northwest Impact Offering, the Northwest Baptist Convention. And I tell you with all sincerity, we covet your prayers as we step out on faith to make this change. And just know that you certainly have our prayers as well.